man. This is part 2. You saw my initial response. This is the second response that I'm going to put out just for everybody else who still is lacking common sense. I told you what happened. I told you what was deserved. And now this is where I'm going to actually point the blame. Trayvon Martin doesn't get any of the blame. I'm going to tell you why. Because he was the actual victim. And he was actually doing nothing wrong. The only thing wrong thing that he did was probably deciding to go get something from the store. Those are the things. That's the only thing that I'm like, man, if he wouldn't have did that, man, it would have been probably a different situation. Hopefully, you know. But I can't even say that. Who I blame is the police department, because George, you know, I understand where George come from. If people are breaking in my household all the time or around my neighborhood, then it's either you do two things. Either you get up and move, or you stand and you kind of fight with your community. So I blame the police department by not having a presence in the community like that. Now, if George was a little bit too much, that tells you the character that he is. I'm going to break down the character analysis of George. George is a scary guy. And prejudice and stereotypes can do that to you. Period, point blank. There's a lot of people who are scared to go in different communities just because of the perceived culture in those communities. That's just what it is. So we can honestly say George was a scary dude. He was literally a scary guy. That's why he did what he did. And anybody knows a scary dude when they see it. The scary dude is the one you need to be afraid of. I'm not afraid of thugs. I'm not afraid of no gangsters. I'm not afraid of any politicians because those are gangsters. I'm not afraid of any man in that capacity or woman in that capacity. Now, how the media's being involved in this, it's horrible. On the other side, people protesting, calling him, you know, he's a racist, he's this, he's that, and then not just not taking in any information and not using any common sense is killing me right now. You guys are the, I'm gonna say, you are the dumbest person in the world. And I mean all the people who are protesting and saying, oh, is this racist mug? No. Keep that at the crib. Keep that, find a different way. Because you're wrong. For the people who love Fox News and says, oh, let the law handle it. Let the law handle it. Let the law. Well, you guys are idiots too. Because obviously, if it happened to you, you would have a totally different way of approach. Just saying. For those people who look at media and say, well, they're not showing George Zimmerman in this capacity, and Trayvon is really 5'10" and 6'9" and whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care if Trayvon Martin was Kimbo Slice, like I said before. I don't care if he was Kimbo Slice. You had no right following him. Didn't matter what he looked like. Didn't matter how tall he was. Didn't matter if he was 420 pounds, if he was 180 pounds, if he was 108. Any person who walks up on me and I don't know them and then threatens me, and that's a threat, hey, hold on, and how the tone in the voice. It wasn't like, hey, come on, man. It was, hey, hold. He said it in an assertive manner. Any person who comes at me like that is getting dealt with. Period, point blank. For those who want to say, oh, he didn't have any cuts and bruises and this, that, and that third, and if who was yelling on the tape and all that other stuff, like I said, watch that first reaction. Watch that first video that I posted. Got to tell you everything you need to know. It's called common sense. For everybody else, keep the plight. Do what you need to do. If you need to protest, protest. If you need to march, march. Do whatever you need to do to get your message out how you need it to be. As for over-consumed media people who have no idea that if I even broke down how the media works and how how they even put the pictures to associate different things together that you guys wouldn't even have any inkling about how what commercials come on right after different segments. You guys would have no idea how the media all plays a role in this. You guys know it plays a role, but you don't know the full extent of it. You think you do, but you have no idea. From the setup, from how the newsroom looks, to the words getting across the screen, from the actual haircuts of the participants and the commentators. Y'all have no idea. I'm gonna just give you this right here. Tonight, when you watch the news, watch the general news, right? See if they have some health issue stuff. See what kind of video they use to describe fat people or obese people, and see what video they'll put up. They'll say, new studies find that people who don't eat apples die of obesity and heart attack. And see what type of people they show. They're going to show fat people in their waist eating. Subliminal. Right there in your face. You didn't even catch it. You too busy looking at listening to it, and you're not even looking with your eyes. Very, very simple. And they do that all the time. Crime. I watched something about a crime in Cicero, but then they showed some black people. I was like, whoa. And the crime in Cicero had nothing to do. It was like some old man killing his wife, but they showed a segment of some black folks outside, like chilling. And I was like, what the heck? Like, that had nothing to do with it. But that's how it works. And those are small bits and pieces that you get every day. And I'm not saying they just do it to black people. I'm talking about they do it to race, gender, weight, age, anything, even corporate. They do it to corporate people too. They do it to everybody. You just got to be smart enough to pinpoint when they're doing it and when they're not doing it, because they're never not doing it. Come on.